What a great event.
It was
You've been
wonderful.
very involved with them.
Absolutely. I'm on the board with them, and we have 79 boys, Northeast Ohio, that need bigs. And it only takes just, 30 minutes a week or every 2 weeks or an hour. It takes very, very little time to make a huge impact. So it was insanely wonderful, and we're going to do it again next year.
Okay.
And hopefully the weather is going to be good. But, that's my job. Let's talk about the weather for you to the rest of the evening into the overnight. Lena, look at this. Temperatures getting down into the 60s. Many locations will not see the 50s overnight tonight. In fact, we have more of a breezy south wind returning to Northeast Ohio. So all in all, we're going to stay in the 60s along the lakeside region. Some areas will likely dip into the mid to upper 50s, but it's still going to be a fairly warm night overall. Southeast winds roughly at 5 to 15. That it kicks up tomorrow as well. We're likely going to have a small craft advisory out on Lake Erie, so even the boaters will likely be advised that there may be some extra choppy waters out there. Look at this. For tonight, some 50s. You can see they're inland, staying in the mid to upper 50s. Dover, New Philly, you're likely going to be in the low 60s as well tomorrow. But we will make it into the 80s again. Average high temperature is 81 degrees, and I think we'll pop just above that as we head into the mid to early afternoon. Here's your boating forecast for tomorrow. Notice this. Look at winds east-northeast at 15 to 25 knots, 3 to 5 feet. So it is likely going to be a very choppy afternoon out there on Lake Erie. We're pulling in these south winds, not just from this area of low pressure, but look at this. Clouds are beginning to fan into the Ohio River Valley, west central Ohio, and also southern Ohio, getting some of that easterly wind pulling on in on the east side of this area of low pressure, prompting a little bit of extra humidity moving back in. Dew point temperatures are how we measure the moisture in the air, and we could be tipping the scale in the 60s here in Dover, New Philly. So you're likely going to be even extra humid, and we'll use that loosely for our Monday. We're going to stick with those 5 to 10 mile per hour winds. We have an area of low pressure out to sea right now. That's also pulling in some energy, and that's what will likely bring in some extra cloud cover for us Monday evening into the overnight, bleeding over into Tuesday as well. I think what happens once we get into Tuesday, we'll start out with some sunshine, fan in a little bit more cloud cover once we move into the afternoon. And along the lakeshore here, we're likely to get a few pops and perhaps even some thunderstorms moving in, a 20 to 30% chance, and then boom. After that, we're done. Wednesday moving into Thursday, we keep that energy confined to the mid-Atlantic. That moves back south to the Tennessee River Valley area and just kind of hangs out there through the end of the week. Once we get into Friday night, heading into Saturday, that's when we start to get more energy arriving. Chance showers, perhaps even some thunderstorms possible on Friday. That carries over into Saturday and likely into Sunday as well. For now, we're at about 66 degrees. Dew point temperatures, not a major issue for us here in the city. You can see sunset times roughly around 9:03, 9:04. So we have a prolonged day of sunlight if you want to get out there and enjoy the holiday for you tomorrow. More 60s, perhaps even some 70s expected starting out for you tomorrow morning, even moving into the afternoon. Now, here's that longer forecast for you in that terms of that National Design Mart forecast. Once we get into Monday afternoon, 80s are likely, 81, perhaps 82, perhaps even getting up to 83 degrees. We have a little bit of energy arriving late Monday night into Tuesday. So most of us will be home, we'll be settled, we'll be quiet, we'll be, pretty much stationary for Monday night. Once we open up the gate for Tuesday, returning to work, starting out with a little bit of sunshine, and then there's that energy arriving along the I-90 corridor, stretching from the east all the way back over to the west. That'll carry us through the afternoon here and then begin to wane once we get past the sunset hours there for us on Tuesday. Not a bad forecast. Look at this. High temperatures tomorrow, mid to upper 80s for some areas here, 85 degrees. Looks like the model wants to put us at tomorrow's afternoon high temperature in Medina, 85. You can see there for Ravenna. And remember, the mid 80s will likely feel like the upper 80s tomorrow with that extra humidity on tap. Those rain chances, look how they tip up here by Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, leading in towards Friday and also Saturday. There's that energy arriving again. A water scan you can see there as it just kind of fans out. Most of the energy confined to the mid-Atlantic, moving up the I-95 corridor. We'll start out with a little bit of energy south, and then we'll train in a little bit of energy along the lakeshore region into Tuesday afternoon. So that bears repeating for us. Here's your Union Home Mortgage 10-day outlook. Temperatures remain into the mid to low 80s. You can see midweek Wednesday, summer officially starts, and it looks like we're going to be dry. Sun and clouds possible, low 80s. We kind of cool things down by Thursday. We're back into the upper 70s by Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and look like we have a stretch, Lena, of showers and thunderstorms for the final days of June.
I can't believe July is just right here.
Right around the corner.
I know. Okay, thanks, Jason.